Hello everyone and welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Breathe. This again is going to be a live video. I'm not doing voiceover, this is me, you can see. But anyways, I've had a lot of requests, especially on my Instagram. A lot of people DMing me and wanting me to do a live, I guess not live, but do a video of me performing a water change and how I do it, what I do. And yeah, just people want to see how I do it. Maybe you can gain something from it. And hopefully you guys, obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys watching this saying, I know how to do a water change. Just, siphon out water, put in new water, and you're all done. Well, I'm going to show you my techniques and how I do it and how my corals have been loving it. My fish love it. Everybody loves it. And I've been able to clean, obviously, a very clean tank this way. Just a quick heads up, I do water changes once every week. I do them on Fridays. That's typically my routine. Sometimes I'll do it on a Thursday. But once a week, and every first week of the month, I do 2 jugs. So for today, we're going to be doing just a 5-gallon jug. This is a 45-gallon tank. There's only about 32 gallons of water in there. Once you take in consideration the sand, the rock, all that, there's only about 42 gallons. So yeah, I only do 5 gallons every week, and every first of every month, I do 2 jugs. So I would do 10 gallons of brand new water. You don't have to do the 2. As long as you're doing 1 every week, you're good to go. I just do the 2 just for the heck of it. My corals love it. I love it. Keeps my water a lot more crystal clear. And yeah, just everybody's happy. So what I'm gonna do is get you guys mounted on the tripod because I want to get all this recorded for you guys. I want you to see exactly what I do. And very quickly, before we get you guys mounted on the tripod, I want to show you what I use. Obviously you can use other equipment, but this is what I use. So sometimes I'll use just that bucket. I'll have to fill it 2.5 times, which will equal 5 gallons in that bucket. That's only a 2-gallon bucket. But today, since I have, last week I did a water change. Once I was done filling my jugs, I got one empty, so I'm going to use that to change water. And it's easier too because I can see exactly to what line I'm going to put it, so I can replace the same amount. But obviously you need something to suck it out, something to put your water in. That's obviously pretty important. In my case, I got wooden floors. I don't want water too much on them, so I put a towel here. I'm gonna get splatters here and there, but I just go ahead and clean that up. You're gonna want a little siphoning, I'm not even sure what these are called, but you're gonna want one of these here. Mine's actually pretty nice. It has this little tip. I can take the tip off. You can see here it's detachable. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand, but it is fully detachable. This one, you can create a siphon just by squeezing this, and I'll show you other tricks of how I create a siphon even if you don't have that. And then also this here is to dust out all the rock. You're going to see right now it may not make a lot of sense to you. It's like, what the hell is all this for? Oh, and another thing I'm going to need, I got you guys here, is going to be this. I lost the attachment. I don't know where the heck it went, to be honest with you guys. There's a little attachment for the sand, and you're going to see how I mix the sand up with that and how I get that going. So that's pretty much it. That's all the equipment I use to do this water change. And sorry about the bird. He gets pretty loud sometimes. He likes attention. And so yeah, we are going to be doing the water change. Let's get you guys mounted up to the tripod, and hopefully the reef gods are with us today in this water change. So I'm just kidding. But yeah, let me get you guys mounted up here to the tripod, and let's get this going. All right, everyone, so I'm here in front of the camera now. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna show you how you wanna shut everything off. The way I shut it off and in what order I do it, obviously depending on your equipment and how your sump is set up, you can do it differently. But I'm gonna show you here how I do it. So let's get all this out of the way. So the first thing I shut off on my setup is a skimmer. So once the skimmer's off, in my specific setup, I need to remove the cup. Because if I don't remove the cup, what ends up happening, the water level rises in the center. And what's going to happen is it's going to come up so high that you get all the stuff, liquid inside the cup, it overspills, it gets flooded, and pretty much everything in the cup empties out into the tank. And that's next we remove, in my case, remove the screen top, set it aside. And then once we got that, we can shut off the Jager. I just realized I was feeding them this last night. I always forget to refrigerate this. This is like the 4th time I forget to do this. It gets me a little bit mad, but oh well. I'm not gonna do it now. It's been out for like 10 hours already. So anyway, we shut off the Jager. If you do have a Jager, make sure, or any pump you have, make sure you don't shut it off in feeding mode. Because what's gonna happen, it's gonna kick on, you know, in about 5-10 minutes. And it's happened to me before, that's why I tell you guys this. So make sure that's off. It is in my case. And then we're gonna shut off the main pump, my main return pumps. You're gonna see here everything already settling. Everything's good to go. Let me just make sure everything's settled. So now that everything is nice and settled, what we do, the way I started, is I grabbed this guy. This is a JBJ. It's like a whole 4-in-1 thing they sell. You remove the inserts out of it. I lost the sand insert. I love that. I mean, let me check under the couch. Hold on. Yeah, never mind. I thought it may be under the couch. Let me check behind the tank. Yeah, I've lost that thing for like the past 2 weeks and no one has any idea where it went. I don't know where it went. No one knows where it went. So we're just gonna do this route today. So what I do, literally just shove this in the tank. And what I'm doing is just mixing up the sand. Real, no science to it. Trying to get it all mixed up. And let me, while I'm here, I want to remove some of the corals. I got my little handy towel. Also be careful when you do wash your hands. You don't want to put your hand in the tank. A lot of you are saying, wait, what do you mean? I wash my hands, why wouldn't I want to put my hand in the tank? Because the soap you use has a lot of perfumes, has chemicals, and you don't want that in the tank. So if you do wash your hands, make sure you rinse them off really well. Honestly, I've noticed you're better off rinsing your hands. I mean, unless there's dirt on them, they kind of wash them. So I'm going to move, in my case, this logo. Move him out of the way. Set him up here. Should be fine there. Move these zoas out of the way. Put them there. And then kind of dry my hands. See, it comes really nice. And then we're continuing what we're doing. It's crazy because when I used to do this, especially you guys that have new or have had new tanks, you know exactly what I'm about to say. The first times I would mix the sand like this, like the whole thing would get nasty, like all foggy. You can see I've mixed the whole mess right now and it barely fogged up right here. So I've been doing this quite a bit, and you can see that there isn't much dust, if you will. I believe it's dust. Not that general dust known to find in our home, but just dust from the sand crushing, itself and everything. So what I'm doing right now, as you can see, is mixing everything up. My Gobi does a really great job of this, but I'm just helping him out just a little bit. So, okay, pretty happy with that. And also at this point, you can go ahead and mix up, and level out your whole sand bed. Because if you got a Gobi like I do, this guy does a really good job. And he's always shuffling some sand around and moving everything around. So right now I'm going to get to the back of the tank. This is why it's also very critical you leave enough space. I just dropped this nail. You leave enough space in the back of the tank. The flipper's freaking grabbing on. Yeah, well, I don't even know how that happened, but it happened. So you guys got to see the other side of the flipper. For some reason, it just came flying out for no reason, really. But it did. no biggie. We're still here doing what we're trying to do. Like I said, this is why you always want to have a lot of space in the back of your rock work. Or not a lot, I don't have an excessive amount, like I need to work my way in here, which is a good thing. It means I'm taking full space of the whole aquascape. And you can see I mixed everything up and there's still not, I've done this so much, I do this every time I do a water change, that's why you don't see that much dust in case that. So, from that step, what we want to do, turkey baster, guys. I mean, I'm sure a lot of retailers out there are going to hate me, but guys, you don't need to buy these that are specific to our aquarium hobby industry. If you do that, if this has on the label aquarium or marketed to us, it's going to be more money. Honestly, Dollar Tree, 99-cent store will do the trick. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to explain what I do before I do it, because I know the camera is a little bit far away and maybe a little bit hard to see. But what I'm doing now, I'm going to fill this up with water, try not to get any bubbles in it, okay? And I'm literally going to blow everything off the rock. I'm going to blow the corals a little bit lighter than I would the rock, but everything's going to get a little blowing on it. You can see the gonopore there got a little bit pissed off. That's fine. He's going to be happy later with how clean he is. So right now, remember, our goal right now is to blow. Look at that. Look at all the dust on this rock. It's crazy. Wow. And again, we blow the corals lightly. Don't do it as hard as you do it on the rock. Do it a little bit lighter on the coral. I mean, the SPS, they can do it pretty hard. They don't care. They can actually enjoy it. But these softies here, you can see these hammers. I'm not doing it too hard. Same with the zoas I have here. Okay, we're at the eagle eyes, the hammer. Not that much buildup over here. There's a whole mess of buildup on that side, and more even on this back side. You can see it just flying out. Okay. And you can see almost, now the tank is pretty foggy. A lot of that has come from pretty much the rock work. You can see the rock work actually holds more than my sand does, as far as dirt and crap is concerned. So, no biggie though. We're here dusting everything off. Okay, I'm pretty happy. Let me dust these rocks off, because the goby always throws stuff on these guys. The Gandhis, they hate this. I know they hate it. The torches don't hate it that much, but I know for sure the Gandhis do. The zoas kind of hate it. But this is for their own good. So now that I have everything stirred up, now we can go ahead and put this bad boy in. So you guys can see the way I do it, and the method to my madness is getting everything stirred up. Get the sand stirred up, get all the dust off the rock. The reason I have the power head everything off is because I want it just suspended and floating. I don't want it to get pushed back into the rock work as far as the dirt and the dust is concerned. So we bring this bad boy over, we take off the lid, we set this down in there. Make sure you set it in correctly, guys. I've had where it like slips out and water just gets everywhere. It's not a good experience. So we put this down wherever. And now another little trick, you're gonna see some of these sold that have little levers on it to adjust the flow. I mean, if you wanna go out and spend the money on those, by all means go out and spend it, but you can put that money towards fish, towards corals. You don't need to spend it. The way I do it, literally just this. That's it. Just crimp it over, and this will be my flow rate, or this will be how I adjust it. So you're gonna notice right now that, again, I'm going back into the sand bed. I'm again trying to get everything out of that sand bed. And the quick tip for you guys that don't have one of these siphon starters, which you do, and I'm gonna show you, I'm not even gonna use the siphon starter, check this out. Oh, and another little quick tip I wanna give you guys, because again, all these tips come up because I've had it happen. Make sure the end, when this is getting bent like that, you can have this come flying out. And again, not fun. So make sure it's in, make sure the other end is into your bucket. And if you don't have one of these with the siphon starter, this is all you do. Check this out. There you go. You can see it took a little bit longer, but it does work. So pretty much, so you can see what I'm doing there. If I leave this open all the way, it's just going to pick up the sand and take it out. And that's not what I'm looking for. I just want the dust to come out. I mean, given it is going to pull a little bit of sand, no biggie. And there we go. All that dust you see floating there, I'm going to get it all out. Again, shut it, let it all fall, the big pieces, and then pull out. Again, shut it, let the sand fall out, and get the big pieces out. See that right now, I see that middle section has a lot of dust. So guess what? I'm going to work on that center section. And then see all that cloud right there? We're going to keep working that center section. Shut it, let all the sand fall out, and then all the dust comes out. And I'm probably not going to do much editing to this video so you guys can see exactly how I do this. And obviously be careful with your corals, you're going to bump some of them in, I mean, it's going to happen, but just be aware of them and their location and be sure you can, you know, the tool you're using, make sure you can work around them and everything. So we're not even half full yet of the jug, which is good. So right now I'm just going to be siphoning out the top for a little bit more. I'm going to move over to the back side here. There we go. Same technique as we were using earlier. Obviously, if you have wrasses or any fish that, you know, go in the sand or anything like that, be careful with them. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably stop the siphon and I'm going to go to the back of my my rock work. And again, being here, I'm probably going to use the little, let me see. I don't know, I'll use it to help me, the little siphon starter. Filled. So for this last portion, I'm just going to leave this suspended up in the air. I just want to catch, you know, stuff in the air. You can see how long, I mean this took me a little bit longer because I'm trying to record, I'm trying to get it all on video, but you can imagine if I wasn't trying to record, I would have been done by now. And to stop this siphon, all I'm going to do is take this out of there. I'm going to give you guys another quick tip here at the end as well. So let me empty this and then I'll give you guys a little quick tip. Okay, so the quick tip. When you're ending the siphon like I just did, don't expect to end, especially if you have a bucket, when it's all the way to the top. expect to stop the siphon, because remember guys, we still have water in the line. So if you stop it at the absolute max, when you take this out of the water in here has to go somewhere, and it's probably going to go inside the bucket, which is going to cause you to overfill. So be aware that your line is holding water, and if you're not careful, that water is going to fall into your bucket or whatever you're using, and it's going to overfill. So just keep that in mind. What we're going to do now, so I don't get my water mixed up, because that's another thing, you don't want to mix up your dirty water or clean water. You'll probably know which one's which, one's going to look dirtier. But in my case, this is a dirty one. I'm going to put it here next to you guys. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to kind of level out the sand bed. Just a little bit, not too much. I'm not too picky with how it looks. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that is. Doing the back side. Okay, it's good enough. I'm happy. And then kind of dry all your everything you use. And what I do, as I'm finished using everything, I put it away. It makes it a lot easier. You don't have to be stepping on stuff. So what I'm gonna do now is put this away, and then we're gonna come right back. Alright, so we're back. I got everything put away, and like I said, it's just my routine because I know I'm messy. And if I don't do that, there's crap everywhere, and I just don't like that. So I'd rather clean up as I go. Just makes everything better. So right now I'm just inspecting everything, my rock work, my corals, making sure everything's in a good location, making sure I'm happy with them. Because now that the water level's down, it's easier for me to work on it. I'll put my logo back to the bottom. Okay. Fine right there. Everything, I'm happy with everything else. I don't need to move anything. I don't need to mess with anything else. Everything's good where it's at. So what we're gonna do now, we are going to, I'm gonna show you how I fill it back up. There's a lot of ways of filling it back up. There's ways I would even prefer to do it, but you can do it with a pump and having to pump back water in there, but it's just more work. I gotta go get the pump. I gotta get the bigger bucket to put the water. It's just more work. I'm gonna show you the way I do it. And my corals actually like it because I see flow of like brand new water and they actually grab the nutrient. I don't know. The corals look better when I do it this way. It's probably just me, but you know, they're happy. So I grab this bucket. If you have a bigger one, great. But I'm gonna tell you why I don't use a bigger one. I have a bigger one, but I don't use it. Reason why? The bigger this is, the harder it is to hold over the tank. That's why I don't just grab the big 5-gallon jug and hold it over the tank, because water splashes everywhere. I make a big mess. It's actually harder. This 2-gallon one, I fill it up with 2 gallons of water, lift it up, boom, done. So make sure you're grabbing brand new water. Make sure you're not grabbing RODI. Make sure it is salt. I haven't done that mistake before, but I'm always careful. I'm sure someone has. So now we pour it into the bucket. Okay. All right, that's good. I'm happy with that. And then we pull this over. And I know my coral placement. I know over here I have a lot of softies and they really hate that high flow. Over here I don't have much anything, they don't care for the high flow, so I just throw it over here. And I mean, every tank's, you know, unique, so I'm sure you're gonna find that perfect location. Okay? You can see it's just so much easier to lift this than it would be to lift this whole thing. So now in my case, I do have a skimmer in the back, and I do have a smart level auto top off. So obviously I want to bring up the water to that auto top off. Okay. Another thing, when checking that, remember guys, your pumps have to be on. Don't go back there and fill it with your pumps off, because when the pumps are on, it's going to draw water down. And so obviously when you do check that, make sure you have enough water so you don't run your pumps dry. But what I'm going to do now is turn on the main pumps, keeping everything still off. We're going to give it about 30 seconds to fill down the back chamber. At this point, I can put the skimmer cup back. And now I can see so I don't know if you guys just saw, I make mistakes all the time. I just made a little, it wasn't a mistake, I luckily caught it fast enough. But I forgot to shut my auto top off. So I'm using calc in it, and I don't want it dosing too much in there. So I quickly saw it and shut it off just in time. We didn't get to do anything. So right now, my water level is about that low in the back chamber. So at this point, I can pick this up very easily. It doesn't weigh much. So I can just fill it up to that, to the level on my auto top off. And I'll give you guys another little quick tip here in a little bit. Let this water come up. So the quick tip I'm going to give you guys, when you're adding water to your main display, always remember it takes a while for your center chamber to change level. So don't, if you fill it up till when that comes level, and then you stop, you're going to overfill it by a lot. So always remember it takes time for the back chamber, or for the water to get in the back chamber. My tank in specific, it takes probably about 15 seconds for the water to reach it. Okay, when I go back here and I look at it, perfect. So now we can turn on the auto top off. Now we can turn on the Jager. I need to hold it down. There we go. And then now that everything's running good, we can turn on the skimmer. And I'll give you guys another tip that I use that works for me, and this is more specific to me because the salt I'm using. I'll explain why in a little bit. I obviously use KALKWASSER, right? So I know my KALKWASSER, I know what alkalinity it maintains, and I know the alkalinity of Red Sea salt. So what I do, I always know the Red Sea salt alkalinity is a little bit lower than what I keep my tank. So every time I add salt, I'm always just a hair below the level of the auto top off, so we can actually dose calc in there. Now, if you guys may say over time I can eventually, lower my salinity, I don't think so. I'm doing it by like just a hair, and I'm using that to kind of dose up in the solution to kind of compensate. I haven't had any issues. My specific gravity is about 0.025 to 0.024, and it's always been like that. It's always worked for me. So from this point, I cover the fish. On my tank in specific, it's going to take about 2 hours for this to be crystal clear. And at this point, I would also be cleaning my media baskets. The reason I'm not doing my media baskets today is because I did them yesterday. Obviously, sometimes you're going to notice them get dirtier faster than other days, so I'm not going to wait for a water change to change that out, obviously, for obvious reasons. But yeah, right now it's kind of hard to see that I did it, the aquarium made it good, but believe it or not guys, this thing in about 2 hours and I'm like absolutely pristine. It's going to be good to go for another week. We got the trace elements. Red Sea has a lot of trace elements. We got all that back in the tank. The corals are going to be happy. So every time, the days following the water change, I see my corals just super happy. So it actually gets me really excited to do water changes. And it's perfect for the weekend because if you do it on Friday, you're typically home Saturday and Sunday, so you really get to enjoy your corals. So guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you guys got something useful out of this. And if you have any questions, any comments, suggestions, concerns, leave them down in the comment box below. Guys, be sure to like, be sure to comment, and please subscribe. Share this video with your buddies. If you got Instagram accounts, if you know, whatever. I sure love you guys to promote my channel. Slowly we're nearing about 100 followers. For you guys that do follow me on Instagram, I'm very, very, very active on there. We're approaching 3,500 followers on Instagram, so I'm very happy. There's a lot of stuff going on Instagram, so be sure to check me out. If you don't have them, great. I'm just happy that at least you're following me here on YouTube and watching the progression on this JBJ 45 gallon tank. So guys, that's going to be it for today. I'm really hoping you guys enjoyed today's video. As always guys, thanks for watching. Until next time. So I quickly remembered I ended this video with the most important part of all this. Like without this, we wouldn't even be able to have tanks. Guys, and women, I guess. Typically guys really wouldn't care, women would care more, but you're gonna see where I'm going with it. Clean up after yourself. Don't leave a big mess on the floor, because I know my wife, she'll get mad, and you guys too. For you women reefers out there, I highly doubt your husband's gonna yell at you for leaving a mess. Kind of works only more for us guys. But yeah guys, be sure to clean up after yourself so the wife doesn't get mad. Leave everything spotless so she allows us to keep these beautiful aquariums in our home. Alright guys, see you next time.